Hello everyone, DeckTrolls here, and today I have for you my counter fairies. Not much to say, yeah, they're counter fairies. Let's get into it. Alright, we got 2 Sacred Arc Air Knight Parshath. If you activate a counter trap card, or if you negate the activation of a spell, trap card, or monster effect except during the damage step, you can banish 2 other fairy monsters from your hand, field, or graveyard. Special summon this card from your graveyard if it was there when you activated or negated, or hand even if not. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing damage. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can add 1 Parshath card or counter trap from your deck to your hand. You have 3 Guiding Ariadne. Its pendulum effect is apply these effects. You do not pay life points to activate counter trap cards. You do not discard to activate counter trap cards. And its field effect is, if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can reveal 3 counter trap cards from your deck. Your opponent chooses 1 for you to add to your hand, and you shuffle the rest back to your deck. You got 3 Power Angel Valkyrie. If you negate the activation of a spell, trap card, or monster effect, add 1 light fairy type monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of Power Angel Valkyria once per turn. Got 2 Minerva, Scholar of the Sky. Each time a counter trap is activated, immediately after it resolves, this card gains 500 attack, and if it does, and the Sanctuary in the Sky is on the field, add 1 counter trap card with a different name from your graveyard to your hand. Got 1 Meltiel, Sage of the Sky. Each time a counter trap is activated, immediately after it resolves, gain 1000 life points, and if you do, if Sanctuary in the Sky is on the field, destroy 1 card your opponent controls. Have 1 Bountiful Artemis. Each time a counter trap is activated, immediately after it resolves, draw 1 card. And 2 Laird the Liberator. Each time a counter trap is activated, immediately after it resolves, add 2 of your banished fairy type monsters to your hand. You got 2 Jellin Duo. Cannot be destroyed by a battle. If you take any damage, destroy this face-up card. This card can be treated as 2 tributes for a tribute summon of light fairy monster. Got 1 Eva. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can banish up to 2 other light fairy monsters from your field and or graveyard. Add the same number of level 2 or lower light fairy monsters with different names from your deck to your hand, except Eva. You can only use this effect of Eva once per turn. Now we got 2 Herald of Green Light. When your opponent activates a spell card, quick effect, you can negate this. You can send this card and 1 other fairy monster you controlled from your hand to the graveyard. Negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. And lastly, 2 Herald of Orange Light. When your opponent activates a monster effect, this is a quick effect, you can send this card and 1 other fairy type monster from your hand to the graveyard, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. Alright, so that's it for our monsters. For our spells, we got 2 The Sanctum of Parshath. It's a field spell. This card's name becomes Sanctuary in the Sky while on the field or in the graveyard. Fairy monsters on the field gain 300 attack and defense. Set spells and traps cannot be targeted by or destroyed by card effects. Once per turn, you can target a total of 3 fairy monsters and or counter traps with different names in your graveyard. Place them on top of your deck in any order. You also have 2, the Sanctuary in the Sky, also a field spell. Battle damage to the controller of a fairy type monster from a battle involving that monster becomes 0. Lastly, for the spells, we got 2, Ties of the Brethren. Pay 2,000 life points and target 1 level 4 or lower monster you control. 1 level 4 or lower monster you control. For the rest of this turn, after this card resolves, you cannot special summon monsters. Also, special summon 2 monsters from your deck with the same type, attribute, and level as that monster, but with different names from each other and that monster. You cannot conduct your battle phase the turn you activate this card. Alright, now for our spells, we have 3, Rebirth of Parshath. When a spell, trap card, or monster effect is activated, reveal 1 counter trap in your hand, then discard 1 card to pay pay 1,000 life points. Negate the activation, and if you do, shuffle that card into the deck. Then you can special summon 1 Parshath monster from your deck or extra deck. You got 3, Divine Punishment. When a spell or trap card or monster effect is activated while the Sanctuary in the Sky is on the field, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. Got 3, Ultimate Providence. When a spell, trap card, or monster effect is activated, discard the same type of card, monster, spell, or trap card. Negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. 2, Drastic Drop-Off. When your opponent adds a card or cards from their deck to their hand, including drawing, they must discard 1 of those cards. Got 1, Solemn Warning. When a monster or monsters would be special summoned, or when a spell or trap card or monster effect is activated that includes an effect that special summons a monster, pay 2,000 life points, negate the summon or activation, and if you do, destroy it. And I have 1, Dark Bribe. However, you could switch this out for a Solemn Strike or a Solemn Judgment. I highly recommend it, but I don't have an extra at the moment, so this is what I got. When your opponent activates a spell or trap card, your opponent can draw 1 card, also negate the spell or trap card activation, and if you do, destroy it. Alright guys, that is my Counter Fairy deck. So, tell me what you think. What did you like? What did you dislike? What would you do to improve it? Yeah, give me some feedback. Comment down below. I like when you guys comment. I have 100 plus budget-friendly decks, so remember that there's going to be a lot of fun content coming your way. So please make sure to like and subscribe. Most importantly, have fun.